Hey guys, thank you so much for 1,000 subs. I really appreciate it. And as for the videos leading up to this, I said that I would do a setup tour. So here it is, and I hope you enjoy it. So first off, I'm really lucky to have all of this equipment, and I wouldn't, other than the desk, the chair, and the speakers. I'll get to the chair later. Other than those three things, I bought everything else with my own money, and this is really the culmination of 8 years of saving up and a lot of upgrades over the years. It used to just be like a laptop on a trash desk, but now it's this. So yeah, I'm not some spoiled rich kid who's been given this by my parents. I have been upgrading it for the past 8 years, and I'm really lucky to have it. So first off, you're wondering, so it's a stand-up desk. So basically in all of the videos that I've recorded, I've been standing up, not sitting down. So that's probably a big shock to all of you. The second thing is, well, the computer. So the computer is floating because I got this idea off of Amazon. An Amazon review actually. Someone had their desktop mounted underneath the desk and having some stand that was holding it. So that's how I got the idea of buying the stand that holds my desktop, and yeah, it holds it and it looks like it's floating, which is really nice. I don't really get anxious about it falling over because I just don't think it's gonna like fall down as long as I don't bang something. Yeah, I guess another thing is that everything on this desk is so heavy, like the monitors, the stand, and the computer. It makes it so heavy that basically I can't even, like this is the button or the lever or whatever to raise it and lower it. Basically when I press that, when the desk is down and I press that, it doesn't do anything because everything's so heavy. So I have to put my back under it and use my legs to push up on the desk. I physically have to get underneath it and push it up in order to raise it. And then when I want to lower it, I also have to put my back under it to make sure it doesn't slam down. So maybe in the future I'll get a desk where it's like mechanical, or it's not mechanical, but where you just press a button and it's like a motor that raises it and lowers it. So I guess we should talk about the monitors. So this is gonna annoy a lot of you. So all the monitors are different brands, so they're not all the same. That's probably really annoying for a lot of you. So the primary monitor is a 165, actually I should just clarify, all these are 1080p. So the primary monitor is 165 hertz TN and 1080p. 165 hertz is nice for gaming because it's nice and smooth. And it's TN, which isn't the best for color accuracy, but for color accuracy sometimes I use the top monitor. This is 1080p, 144 hertz, and IPS. So it's a nice balance of the high refresh rate and the IPS, which is nice for color accuracy. For the left one, also 1080p, and I think this is 60 hertz. It might be 75 hertz because you can actually overclock monitors. So this might be 75 hertz. And it's kind of hard to see. I don't even know if you can see it, but there is a dead pixel on that monitor, which is a shame. Maybe I'll get a better monitor in the future. Then for this one over here, also 1080p, 75, well, I don't know, 60 or 75 hertz. And this is probably the crappiest monitor out of all of them, but it does the job. So yeah, 4 monitors stacked like that. It's pretty nice. I actually, usually I use 3, sometimes 4. So it's not like these are all for waste or for show. I do use like all of them sometimes. Up here we have some acoustic foam to help dampen the sound. And we have my logo up here. I made my logo in Illustrator a couple years ago. It's a really easy logo to make. You could probably make it in 2 minutes. But I got this printout for only $20. I found some website, and yeah, it's $20 for that, which is I think a steal. And since I made my logo in Illustrator, I just have it as my background. Well, I put it in After Effects and then just did some stuff. I'm not that good at After Effects, but it's not that hard to do some simple animations with After Effects. Up here you have the lights. So I'm kind of a cheapskate, and in terms of lighting, it's amazing what you can get away with paying so little. So these lights are, well, they were like $30 or $40 when I bought them, and they're LED lights, I think. And you can actually, like, you can raise and lower this. I used to have like red, green, and blue filters, but I think I lost those. Anyway, these are the lights I use to light my face because otherwise it would be too dark. And under here, I have the controls, so you can press this button and turn it on, and that's how I get the lighting for my videos. And you can also adjust the brightness, but I won't do that. But yeah, you just press the button again and turns it off, which is nice. I guess my webcam, this one I bought, oh, I should say for the lighting, for these lights, I bought, what do you call them, the scissor arms for microphones. I connected these lights, found a way to manage to connect them to the scissor arms, and that's how I have them in this position. So it's nice to have them this high up. For the webcam, I bought this during the peak of the pandemic in mid-2020, and basically it was like $80 or $90. I wanted to spend a little bit more because I just didn't want to buy a trash webcam and then have it break a year later. It's good to invest in a good one. And usually I have a cover, this glasses cleaner. I have this that goes over it so that Mark Zuckerberg doesn't spy on me when I sleep. And yeah, it's an okay webcam, but maybe I'll get a better one in the future. A nice feature that I don't use is that when you press the outside of this, it turns this light on, but I don't use that since I have the lights to already give my face light. Over here, you have this this lamp. It's like bendable and it maintains its position. And I'll get to the cable management underneath, but there is a button underneath where I can press it, turn it on, and you can even change the temperature. But it's nice to have that if I want to do work. And speaking of work, on my desk, why is it so dark? I usually don't want to open my window to like reveal my address or something. But yeah, this keyboard is the G915 Logitech. It's TKL and it's nice switches. So for the previous keyboards I think I had brown switches, or Cherry MX brown switches. Those are my absolute favorites. But Logitech doesn't have any Cherry MX browns, so I settled for this. It's a really nice keyboard. It was, well, on Amazon it's $200, but I snagged it on eBay for only like $80, I think. eBay is a good deal. So, yeah, it's a good switches, similar to Browns, but not exactly the same. But I still do like it, and it's TKL. It's wireless, as you can see, which means that I can just move it around if I want to like do work on my desk. Then it's just easy to move it around, and it's a nice light keyboard, and it's, yeah, a good keyboard. So for the mouse, this is the, I don't even remember, let's see, G604. So I like this because it's also Logitech, and well, Logitech software is good if you want to set up like macros and keybinds and things like that. So I have side buttons that do stuff like taking screenshots and things like that. But yeah, it is wireless, so I can move it out of the way, just like my keyboard. A downside is that, well, it's not really a downside. I haven't figured out a way to connect the Bluetooth to my computer, so I use the Lightspeed instead. And I swear the Lightspeed only gives my mouse like, I don't know, 3 weeks to a month of battery before it goes out, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, it's a good mouse, and I like it. I use it for gaming. Well, not like I do a lot of FPS gaming anymore. I do Rocket League, and yeah, that's like the only game I'm really into. Speaking of Rocket League, I use the Steam controller. I know the Steam controller is kind of trash, but I'm a cheapskate, and this controller is discontinued. I think they discontinued it 2 or 3 years ago, and I snagged it for only $12 because when they discontinued it, they sold it. They said they were giving it away for $5, and the shipping was $7. So the shipping cost more than the actual thing. So yeah, sometimes I use it wireless. Sometimes I plug it in. Let's see, I have a phone charger. This is just wireless. It's not that big of a deal, just average. The speakers are, my dad got me these speakers for Christmas a couple years ago, and I wouldn't say I'm not an audiophile, but I wouldn't say they're good speakers. They just get the job done, and yeah, they emit sound, and that's it. For the microphone, I have the Audio-Technica AT2020. Let me use this. Right. So Audio-Technica AT2020, it was like $100, and it's a good mic for the price. I think it's one of the best bang for the buck microphones that there is. And yeah, I guess we should talk about my audio. So this cord goes all the way underneath, and then it goes, actually, you know, I should talk about my headphones first. So I have these Philips headphones, and they're open back, which means that it's a more open sound, but at the same time, basically everyone else in the room can hear what you're playing on your speakers or on your headphones, because it's not really aimed towards sound isolation or sound dampening. It's just a really open sound, but everyone in the room can hear what you're hearing. So I have a 6-foot cable that's plugging my headphones and my speakers into this. So this is just a splitter, like an audio splitter. So I have my headphones and speakers plugged into that. And this changes whether I want audio out of my speakers or my headphones. So I can just press the button like this to change it, and it's really convenient. So that splitter is plugged into this, which is my audio interface. I should probably raise this up again. It's more like, yeah. So my audio interface is one of the cheapest ones, like one of the cheapest audio interfaces you can get on Amazon. So I can control the volume with this knob right here. Even though I don't do it, I usually control the volume with my volume wheel on my keyboard. And I can also change the gain on my microphone using the last knob right there. So yeah, headphones and speakers plugged into the splitter, and the microphone are plugged into the audio interface. Audio interface is plugged into my computer. Right, next, I guess, let's talk about the lighting back here. So I don't really change these lights. They're just LED strips. I have a remote here, and you can change the lights to basically any color you want, even though I usually keep it on this bluish white color. Let's see. I guess, yeah, the computer, which is like the main dish, if you will. So I took off the glass to make it a little bit easier. Like the side panel, it's made of glass. It's right here, but I usually have that on, but it's off for now. So, I don't remember all the specs, but I'll put them on the screen. So it's an Ryzen 5 3600 overclocked to 4 gigahertz. I tried underclocking it a couple times. Sorry, not undervolting, but I think it was like unstable. So yeah, it's just overclocked to 4 gigahertz. The graphics card is a Zotac RTX 2070 Super. I bought this 2 years ago. It was actually right before the third NVIDIA launched their 30 series, so I thought, like, am I getting should I wait until the NVIDIA launches their 30 series before I buy this 2070 Super? It's used, by the way. But I'm glad I bought it before, because that was like before all this supply chain shortages and stuff. And even though it's used, it is a good card, and I'm glad I didn't spend extra money on like the 3080. The problem with it though is that basically the cords to my monitors stick out the side like this, and they're really sensitive. So like if you just touch them even a little bit, then all my screens, well, some of my screens will go black, which is really annoying. But yeah, I almost never hit them, surprisingly enough. So that's a good thing. So yeah, the CPU, I talked about CPU. Oh, the RAM. So I have 64 gigs of RAM. I believe it's 2.6 of 32 gigabytes and 3200 megahertz. And you might ask, like, why do you need 32, or why do you need 64 gigabytes of RAM? But if you've ever used After Effects, you know that After Effects uses up more RAM than Chrome could ever dream of, which is, you know, that's saying a lot. Let's see, the CPU fan is, I think, Cooler Master Hyper 2012 Evo. It's one of those. The logo is upside down, but I'm actually too lazy to change it. Yeah. So the power supply is, I don't know, it's EVGA. I think it's like a 750 watt power supply. The motherboard, I'll put the motherboard on screen if I can remember. But yeah, this motherboard is micro ITX, I believe. So that keeps it in a relatively small form factor, especially when I'm raising and lowering my desk. About the smallest you can really get it, while still having a side panel. And then the case, I don't even know what the case is, but it's a small case. I don't really like it because basically don't give you a lot of room for cable management, and I can't even fit the back panel on all the way, so that's sticking out a little bit. But I guess it looks okay. The one downside though is that there's not really any lighting. My old fans, I should talk about, yeah, the fans. So these are, what do you call them? Noctua fans. So they're really quiet. I'm glad I invested the money into these. The fans I had before, they plug into like a hub, and then I had to use this remote to change the speed of the fans, which is so annoying. But it's nice that these just plug in directly into my motherboard. But the downside is that since I have six fans, and as far as I know, this ITX motherboard only has one fan port. So I have all 6 fans plugged into like extensions into a single port, and only 5 work. So like this fan, yeah, this bottom fan right here doesn't even run, which is a shame, but at least I get good airflow and it's very quiet. I have some cable extensions. These are white, obviously, and they just little things to make your PC stand out. Oh, the storage. So I used to use hard drives, but now I don't. I use all solid state storage now. So I have, right there I have an M.2. This is 240, I don't know the speeds, but that M.2 right there is 240 gigs. I use that for recording. I put all my footage on that. Then I have, it's kind of hard to see this, but this and this are actually, and it isn't like impossible to see that. Let's see. That's a bit better. Yeah, so these are SSDs. One of them is 500 gigs and the other one is 1,000 gigs, or a terabyte. And that's how I store most of my stuff. So yeah, I think I talked about pretty much everything. So I talked about the case, fans, the CPU fan. Actually, CPU fan is the same as the case fans. Talked about the CPU cooler, the graphics card, CPU. Yeah, I think I talked about everything. The reason why I'm not like, I haven't raised up my desk, the reason why I haven't raised up my my window completely is that I don't want to give away my eyes or something like that. So I'm just trying to keep it somewhat closed. Okay, I guess I have the subwoofer under here for my speakers, and I guess what next? I guess cable management. So cable management, I guess it's just whatever. Cable management could be better, but it's not the best. Like I could have used more cable raceways probably. So I have like the cord to my microphone under here, and I have some cable raceways right here, and then I don't know what's going on right here. I have like three power strips plugged into each other, and there's this really weird clicking sound, which I don't know where that's coming from. Probably because I have 3 power strips plugged into each other, and yeah, cable management could be better, but it's just whatever. Oh, by the way, this is the button when I was turning on my lamp. This is what you press. So that's nice that that's Velcroed down there. Let's see. So I talked about the desk subwoofer. I have some cable raceways down there to keep things nice and clean. Talked about the computer. Talked about the headphones. Talked about my lighting system. Actually, I should probably talk about what's going on back here. So I have this audio. Let's see. What do you call it? I guess a monitor stand. So this monitor stand holds up the center monitor and the top monitor, and that's the reason why my desk is like so heavy. And the cable management back here isn't really that good, but yeah, it looks so much worse on camera, I swear. And the annoying part about this monitor is that the cables are like the cables come directly underneath, so it's impossible to have like a clean it's possible to not have a cable show right here, which is so annoying. So I think, oh, well, I guess got the Kindle here. I bought this 2 months ago. I use this for reading. I apologize for the noises outside. Stupid motorcycles. So I bought this Kindle 2 months ago or so, and I love it for reading. It's like one of the Kindle like 10s or 11s or something like that. It's used, which means it's cheaper, but it's a good Kindle. So let's see. I think that's like pretty much it. It's a nice setup, and yeah, I'll be updating it in the future. Well, I don't know. Maybe once again like an actual job, finish college, then I'll upgrade it in the future. But yeah, it's a nice setup. I really like it, and yeah. Once again, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate it, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.